us? Are there terrible things afoot, bubbling under the surface? Is something coming for you and for us? Ask yourself how true that is of yourself and your own life. Have you addressed all that? Are you concerning yourself with the dust in your enemy's eyes instead of attending to the filth that obscures your own sight? Do we want accusation, suspicion, discord, derision, and hatred? Or the peace and prosperity and happiness that beckons to us at this moment like never before? Who's the enemy here? Is it the basket of deplorables? Is it the freaks and the queers? Is it the plumbers and carpenters and tradesmen and managers who work honestly and diligently during the day, and the soldiers who stalwartly defend the borders and protect us? Is it the artists and visionaries whose expressions of unbridled creativity entertain and rejuvenate us, and who continually offer to us an unending panoply of technological miracle? Is it the institutions that guide and protect us, that so many lived and died to erect and establish, which for all their faults have served us so well? Do we want revenge or justice? Do we want contempt or mercy? Do we want war or peace? And what are you aiming at in your heart of hearts? I see even the best of men degenerating into the exchange of blows. I see even the best of men identifying the enemy in our neighbors and friends. I see even the best of men falling prey to cowardice and self-righteous anger. It needs to stop. I need to stop. You need to stop before it's too late. Who is the enemy here? The snake in your heart? The lies on your tongue? The arrogance of your intellect? The cowardice of our refusal to see? The enemy is that which divides to sow discord. The enemy is the pride and the fear that stops us from lending a hand across the divide. The enemy is the great and eternal adversary of mankind. And if we demonize our brothers, our comrades in arms, do we not precisely call that dread spirit forth? Have we not yet learned? Courage, trust, truth, love, even unto your enemy, which is yourself. God, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. May what is highest guide our vision. May what is highest open our ears. May what is highest guide our tongues. And may we pray.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, Jordan Peterson, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Oh, am I there? Am I live? I know there's a delay, but all right. So, welcome, beautiful and amazing people. I'm so glad to be with you today, Friday, November the 12th. I see there's about like 10, 15 people already on the live everywhere, YouTube. Welcome LinkedIn, welcome Twitter. So Coach F here with you. And that was words spoken by Jordan Peterson. Very soon very early this month, and we are living in a time that, yes, we need to stop. I agree with him. So if you'd like to see the full Wings and Prayer of Jordan Peterson, you could go on, especially on my YouTube channel. You have the description, you have all the link, reference to what we're going to talk today about it, because we have a lot to talk about today. Let me tell you that. And so, yes, I'm a bit like, it was Let's We Forget Day yesterday. I am still, because I had a workshop this morning, and so I'm kind of a bit distracted. I'm not in the studio, so apologize in advance for the background noise, the background voice, but this is it, because we are going to talk about authenticity at what cost, what is a Black Swan, what will be the next Black Swan event. We have a lot of Black Swan lately. Black Swan is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be also a good thing. So stay with us, guys. I gotta check some gears here, and if for the 10-15 people already live everywhere, please tell me in the chat or in the comment below if there's some things happen. So stay there. We're gonna talk about everything that's happening right now, and how could we be anti-fragile and authentic with authenticity. So stay there. All right, guys, so welcome back once again to the Friday Live Agile episode 43 today. As I said, we have a lot to talk about, and let's set the expectation right now. So if you expect me, Coach AF, to do a review of the books from Nassim Taleb on the Black Swan, or the anti-fragility or anti-fragile type of thing that's been probably most of us in the Agile movement and even beyond, we had read those books. So no, this is not the case. Of course, I inspire myself by the work of Nassim Taleb to discuss the topic of today's vlogcast, but you shall not expect any kind of a review. And we are going to go through the Oxford and Merriam-Webster kind of definition of these kind of concepts to see how they are aligning right now, 10 years after those books, and talking especially about the Black Swan, because the Black Swan, when I was introduced to the blockchain protocol and the Bitcoin back in 2008-9, because I was there since and from the beginning. So we kind of did this kind of research, because all of these engineers for the open source, because for me, for sure, the Bitcoin protocol, this blockchain network that they created, it's a Black Swan. And it's a good Black Swan for some, and it's a bad Black Swan for some. And by the way, this week again, second in about 35 days, second all-time high, and hold it. Yes, and go see Chris B, Michael Sire, Max Kaiser, hold it. If you have some Bitcoins since the beginning, the first days, don't cash it, hold it, because it's not finished yet. It's gonna be to the moon. All right, guys. So today you're gonna say, like, what the heck is going on with you talking about anti-fragile, okay, and Black Swan and authentic, and being authentic leadership. But well, I did a lot of research lately to prepare my vision board for my book, Next Level Agility. And I don't want to be just another guy, another consultant out there creating a kind of a new program or what have you. I just want to co-create something with an emergent community that have enough of all the buzzwords especially, and everything. And if you ask me, in the last 20 years that I was concentrate on working with the lean thinking and the lean mindset, using Scrum, the Scrum systems, to help a lot of organization and company, and even like reorganize projects and so on, with the very open source, open system of Scrum, that you could actually use it to configure any systems. I would insist on that, because this is the objective reality. It's not the truth. I don't have the truth, but this is the objective reality of practical thing. And if you want business value and people first experience, you gotta make your own work here, and you gotta be true to yourself. So again, that's the purpose of why I created the podcast, Dare Real Agile, because I dare, because I care. And the Friday Live Agile is just because I decided to have a monthly podcast. So what we do air on the Friday Live Agile, it's more like every week I try to update you on subject that matters, and to spark your mind about becoming innovative, welcoming change and innovation. And we have to be open for that. We have to be loving. Yes, I will dare use love into that professional kind of realm. So, and lately, the past couple of, since the summer, since I'm back in Montreal, we have discussion about Scrum zombies, Agile is dead, blah, blah, blah. And now, from now on, from this November 12th, moving onward, I would like to bring something more creative, positive, sending a vibe of innovation, of sparking. Really, that's the thing. Especially myself, I am in a big transformation and pivoting. Agile Lounge for Business Agility will be transforming into something a lot more tailored, with the core, at the core of this new company that I'm rebuilding. Is going to be my program and my system that I'm building and I'm testing right now, incremental way, iterative way, which is the next level agility. And for that, I also decided to write a book, because I have too many things in my head, and I think writing a book will help me really make a better and a clearer vision of what I meant by next level and agility. Of course, the book title will be something else according to the way I will reorganize my vision board for this program and systems, and also talked about the next black swan that we all need, the positive black swan. And for me, in the last 20 years, I was started to say, I saw, like, if we take, like, professionally speaking, project management, product development, enhancing also the experience of our customer first, and then the employees. What have we seen? What have we seen actually as Black Swan, defined by Nassim Taleb as an event? The first Black Swan in our realm of business transformation was definitely with in the mid 90s with the .com and the transformation of the internet with the web, with a better interface, and with e-commerce emerging. That was a Black Swan, because if the computer by itself was a Black Swan event, could you imagine when all these .com appear, when we were leaving the BBS, for the oldest of us, and the telematic, and having a better interface, and being able to start having transactional website instead of static website. So that was the first element, the first Black Swan that actually push fragility. And fragility for me, it's what we define as the VUCA. Again, for the newbies, VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And this is really fragile. And then in the midst of all of this, of software development, new APIs, the backend that was forcing that the cloud was coming, the e-commerce, the security of the transaction. This Black Swan event were unfolding and unfolding. So it came up to February 2001 at Snowbird with 17 consultant engineers that were actually, for the last decade, developing these new e-commerce website and this new digital transformation, utilizing a lot of systems, a lot of ways, a lot of frameworks actually, including extreme programming, pair programming, the DAD. Scrum, of course, was there as a project management type of approach. It was nothing to do because they always need another kind of SDLC, software development lifecycle, defined to be increment inside a Scrum project management. It was lean Scrum project management. So that Black Swan happened. the Agile movement was born because after 2-3 decades and most of the industries, not just IT and software, but of course the software we're using with the Scrum project management, they were using this amazing approach, this lean approach from the manufacturer, from the Toyota revolution, Toyota Black Swan, again. Ford was a Black Swan back in the other centuries. Toyota redefined it after the war. So anyways, the evolution of these events that we call Black Swan for the purpose of this show, you're going to see the link later. So for me, I just take since I'm an entrepreneur myself, since I'm a business consultant and I proposing value, business value, and emancipation of individual and teams. So we had this .com thing, this transactional website, this revolution of the digital realm of the web, the real web on top of the internet. So search, if you don't believe me, internet and the web is not the same thing. So anyways, and then, of course, these development were creating a lot of VUCA and fragility. So we needed another Black Swan, and it happened. It happened with the Agile, actually I should say the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. That happened. These guys stopped the kind of a war, and they also requested it that we could work in a better agreement with marketing, sales, and business, because the ownership of the tools by IT and the software development teams were no longer something that could be efficient. And at the same time, the arrogance of the business people, especially marketing and sales, those who say oh, if I don't create anything, if I don't sell anything, you guys don't have a job. So that had to stop. So the Black Swan was there in February 2001. And then after the decade, and I forgot to upload it because I wanted to show you, especially the drawing from one of my colleagues, showing the kind of evolution of the Agile within the last 20 years. And you know that right now, a lot of people will talk about the third wave of agility, but it's fake because of the fact that right now it's buzzwording, right now it's fake, it's not authentic anymore, and we are in the imposition aspect because a lot of business people, they think that they need to be, or they will say by themselves, we need to do Agile and we need to buy Agile. And what they do, they buy the safe framework, really centralized, really not oriented to the people first, very procedural, really hard and not even hard and disruptive. I mean, anyways, so you know my thought on it. So Agile should be there to help you being anti-fragile. But unfortunately, people have transforming it into an industrial complex of consultancy and professional services, money making. Okay, so that's the objective reality. I'm not saying it's the truth. It's not everywhere there, but I'm making an objective reality here, a generality speaking. Okay, so by the way, I'm welcoming again this week 13 new subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm so very happy, and I'm really thankful from Nikki for her Satoshi, and also Stefano, Miranda. I receive about 5-6 people who give me some kind of tips through my PayPal and also through my Bitcoin. I welcome Bitcoin a lot more. If you want to send me some Satoshi, I'll the link all in the description of my YouTube video. So it's in the description there, because of course on LinkedIn and Twitter, we cannot actually push these kind of donation. But anyways, as I said, I'm just copying the expense, especially this month. You see, I'm getting my Movember bow tie, and most of the money that I receive, and not most, all the money that you send me, and the equivalent from Bitcoin, I will transfer it into month. I will put it in my basket of Movember, and December I will do the sacred art of Jesus' brother to give them money or to purchase with them these Christmas basket gift for the poor of the Montreal area. So that's my motto for the next 2 months. All the money will goes November for November, and December for the Christmas helping assistance. So that being said, I remind you also to smash the like button, forward and share this video to anyone who would like to be sparked into new ideas, innovation, entrepreneurial, and so on. And this is the thing, with 2022 at our doorsteps, I realized that both personally and professionally, I need a black swan myself, because we've been seeing a lot of fragility in the last 20 months. And some of us, like me, we were prepared. We had other means, but not every one of us. And I'd like to thank to others. And that will be very important moving forward that we develop these systems to help each other, creating community and real network, practical, pragmatic network of exchange, sharing, and co-creation of things that could suit you. And my inspiration was the work on top of the books from Taleb that I read, and what I said. Oh, yes, hold on. So all the decades we went through, because the black swan of the Agile Manifesto was positive into our kind of network, our close community. But what happened in the world in 2001? Another black swan that started changing the world, transforming the world. That was, of course, you don't want to hear about it, because especially on LinkedIn, I know what you're going to tell me in private message. Don't talk about the elephant in the room. But I'm sorry. There was an elephant in the room back then called 9/11. And I don't want to go through a political or toxic kind of analysis of it. I let you with your belief. But objectively, that was a black swan too. And it disrupted the market, it disrupted the politics, it disrupted the sociology, and it disrupted also the collective intelligence. Yes, more than emotional intelligence. That was also effective. By the way, let's go see, before we're going too deep, because this week I had a lot of interaction. About 4,000 people view my survey, and there were only 11 votes and some comments. So I'm going to take a moment at the end to go to your chat everywhere, Twitter, LinkedIn, because again, on LinkedIn, I don't see the chat. I'm only seeing in my studio the chat from YouTube and Twitter. So bear with me, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. It's the way the beta mode of LinkedIn Live is built. They're not ready. They do it. That's fine. We reach some people, but nevertheless, I cannot see your comment chat until the end of the show, apparently, or something like that. So I'm gonna go. I always reserve like the last 15 minutes to go all around and see what you have to say, guys. But today we're gonna make a special. I'm gonna stop before, because I promised some of you, if you'd like to show your face and show your voice, I could, like on Clubhouse, but video on Melon app, the Melon app that I'm using to broadcast, I could bring you up like a Zoom session, but it was gonna be live, of course, on my platform. So let's go see. Is it the good one? Yes, it is. Okay, so as you could see, we have, like, I asked the people, like, and yes, I made a typo, sorry about that. As the Francophone first, I'm always struggling with most and then. Not verbally, but when I wrote it. But anyways, so what is the most important stage a team, group, or company build high-performing work environment? And this is in the light of, oh, that's funny. I thought I was like, yes, Karen Kimberling work and Daniel Mizik work over at the Open Leadership Network, and of course the books. So I wanted to pull you about this because I was finding interesting. A lot of people talk about this concept of building psychological safety, encouraging decentralization. Another typo here. Sorry, I have the right to make mistakes. And of course, I put a balloon here, creating open space, which is more a tool. But again, it's a tool, yes. But if you have to create it, there's also a big mindset. Danielle, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a big mindset behind open space. Open space agility is not open space technology. It's not like, anyways, for me, an open space is more, yes, of course, the open space could help us set up psychological safety, and also utilizing the invitation-based change and encouraging decentralization. But anyways, as I could see, 64% of the 11 people who vote are emphasizing on the psychological safety because this is what is popular right now. But you know, guys, the funny thing about it is, and that was part of my conversation that you could listen to my Dare Real Agile podcast with Michael Ehrman, when we talked about, is it better to have a safe space where you restrict yourself into authenticity, reactivity, creativity, and everything, or it's better to have an open space where, yes, we welcome some kind of constructive conflict, utilizing both emotional intelligence and collective intelligence. So, and I would like to go to not the definition from Taleb of, because antifragility actually is a word that doesn't exist. I didn't find it in the Merriam, no Oxford, no Harper, but I find it somewhere. Of course, it was not Wikipedia; it was Wiktionary. So antifragility is a proprietary of systems in which they increase in capability to thrive as a result of stressor, shocks, volatility, noise, mistakes, fault, attack, or failure. And of course, the concept was developed by Nassim Nicholas Taleb in his book Antifragile and many technical papers. So, as Taleb explained in his book, and I won't do a review, but just like to make sense of the definition of antifragility, is fundamentally different from the concept of resiliency. Yes. So it's like a lot of people want a black swan happen, especially the bad ones, such as 9/11 and the pandemic that we are in right now. Apparently, we are still in. I'm starting to dab it. But anyways, this is why I said we need not just to be anti-fragile or resilient, but we need to create a positive black swan, a positive event that will switch and that will push back into something more creative. But anyways, so, and for me, again, COVID means create your own vision and detail. Have it in mind. Switch your mindset to create your own vision and detail. If you define COVID like this, you're going to be more happier because you're going to fulfill your vision into something actionable. Because if you create it in detail, utilizing again open space with your team, or even an open board for yourself and personal agility. So the concept of resiliency is the ability to recover from failure. So a lot of people, like with the fuck up night from Mexico and everything like this, all these buzz type of thing that they look like they tried to make a black swan, but it fell, and that's okay. And they lack of resiliency because they have too much ego, and they too much want to be agreeable. And so this is what I'm saying. When I'm in business meeting with entrepreneurial people who have a lot of investment, of course, if they are a leader, they will have more conscious about the aspect of putting people first and listening. But at the end of the day, what do they want? They want to make money. We all want to make money. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Everybody needs kind of an exchange. Right now it's fiat money. Very soon it's going to be Bitcoins. And no, I'm not talking about altcoins. You could go ask yourself with the altcoins. Bitcoins will be the value exchange. If we transform it, the gold standard. Anyways, that's another subject. That's another anti-fragility, more than resilience, right? Because resilience is just like accepting. It's like I said a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people see Agile as an adaptive way or mindset or system. No, Agile, it's a mindset. It's a culture that will invite you not to adapt, but to be innovative. Okay? Agility by itself, it's a way, it's making your own ways, uncovering new ways, not adapting to the way in front of you, to the standard of an institution. Like in the excerpt of Jordan Peterson video I opened the show today. If you pay attention, and again, the link for the full 6 minutes words from Jordan are in my description of the YouTube channel. So you could go there and actually appreciate that he passed through all of these elements. So you have the Black Swan event that then creates some failure, and then people stand up with resilience, with a lot of agreeability. They want to be agreeable to their stakeholders, to their shareholders, to their co-workers, and so on. And then they realize that when Nassim explained us that Antifragile should push your psychic, you should apply a better risk analysis, and he confronted with molecular biology. And I love it because, of course, as a background in physics myself, the substantion that Mike Beadle and myself, we try to teach you using those systems and high-level risk analysis. And I started my journey in Scrum with an aeronautic company building very special and sensitive software. So when you are into this type of thing, when you are in front of novelty, it will create this kind of ambiguity and vulnerability. The full VUCA will jump you in your face. And now, of course, as described by Nassim Taleb, we cannot be predictable of a black swan. But actually, you have the mirror, and the retrospection or the retrospective will make you better at trying to predicting other upcoming black swan, positive or negative, as an event. But the event will happen. Is it predetermined? Yes and no, because when you do an extensive risk analysis using substantion and real sensitivity of your collective intelligence, you gather that together and you could become predictive. And actually, the future of Agile, especially in IT, it's DevOps and the sense of the flowgile, the flowing attribute of every means. Like you see the end, and then you could be predictable because you create an unpredictable ways. So fragile and deal with care, that's the thing from the past, because now it's anti-fragile. Do not handle with care. Actually, shake it before it happens. Okay, use simplicity. Okay, because convexity will be there to stress you anyway. So you need a disorder cluster. You need it's like that's the whole say of you could beat fire with fire. So here is the thing. So if you're too sensitive, and if you don't pay attention to the abstract of mathematics, to the abstract of being disruptive, as we talked last week, you will be in stagnation, and you will stay on your fear, and you will think that you use resilience, but actually you are just putting yourself into more and more fragility and VUCA. And there's an heuristic model that I really love when I read the book back in the day, and describe the point of Taleb. Here's first, you're fragile because you suffer or you are destroyed by the chaos or the volatility. So you will seek a kind of a stabilizer, a normalization. So you want to avoid change in fear of breaking. But you are confronted by maybe a black swan event or something that forces you to change. So that's the thing. You will be imposed to change, like most of the organization right now, that they don't understand lean and agile mindset. They just want frameworks. They just want to complexify what actually those culture of lean and agile are there to simplify. So this is why we are in front with this industrial complex, in front of a full fragility into our network of soi-disant business consultant. And then the other heuristic stage, tools model, is resilient, where remain the same in volatility. So it's a kind of an adaptation to it instead of creating something to remove the volatility and the VUCA by itself. So is it influenced by any cares? And you just seek tranquility. It's laziness. So resilient in that sense, and this new world that we're entering in, it's a no-go, because resilience will get you nowhere. You just stop, and you are not motivated by anything, and you just seek tranquility. And of course, the third model, I could call it, heuristic model, it's anti-fragile. It gets stronger and grows at time of volatility. So here's the thing. You use the agile culture and mindset. I told you a couple of episodes before, and also in my show with Daniel Mizik, sorry. If you are not into a complex environment, if you don't have any VUCA on developing your product, if you don't do R&D, if everything is smooth and tranquil and resilience works for you, why will you be agile? That's you see like the interaction beyond creating a psychological safety. So a lot of people are trying to be agreeable and to fall into the narrative of the woke culture, of this kind of neoconservatism, of laziness, because it's good for them to stay in fragility and to teach resilience and adaptation, because they will make more money out of it. But if you jump with radical management, if you jump with disruptive management, if you go with authentic leadership, using the full power of the model of Antifragile, oh God, you will solve so many things. You will move onwards so faster. And this is exactly the core point of the next level agility program that I'm building right now. It's on-demand, specific facilitation, intervention, professional services, coaching, workshop, no training. People, if they want a training, there's a lot of school out there and whatever. So we do workshop, practical learning process. You learn by practicing it empirically. Okay, guys? So the source of the three things, the way I describe it, the three heuristic things from fragile to anti-fragile, I took it from Simland, so it's SIIMLAND.com. It's someone who offer kind of tips and reviewing the book, completely the book of Nassim Taleb on this subject. The margin of safety and the black swan. So I want to go through that. And authenticity now, which is really, 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 really something that is passionate myself. And not in a sense, like a lot of people, like some people kind of told me that, you use authenticity to excuse your flawless or your draft way of doing things or your empirical ways of doing things. I said, really? Because for me, authenticity is, when I think of lots of my friends who were artist painter, it's the originality of their creation. It's because since my young age with my mom and also my dad, we were surrounded by artists, musicians, singer, poet. And when you kind of part-time grow up in the Chiapas and the Yucatan, you are surrounded by people who are very authentic, who are just what you see is what you get, So, and I put in the title, the MetaWorld. Yes, that's a connection I want to do here with the agreeability that, because I love when Jordan Peterson, he taught us on, you're not agreeable to bring respect. You don't deserve respect. I'm sorry, I don't know you, you don't know me. So what we need is an interaction. We need to talk. We need to walk the talk. We need to observe. We need to get to know each other. We need to collaborate and everything. And then respect will come. So love will be the power of creation, the power of intention. Okay, to build a team on invitation. And if you are capable of collaborating, if you are capable of sharing your skills, Could you be part of the equation of a product development or a project or not? That is the question. Not about respect of my gender identity or my color or what have you. This is creating VUCA. This is creating ambiguity. This is creating complexity for nothing. It's creating filter, and it's creating it's removing yourself from your authentic self, that you will never learn to be really who you want it to be, and you will never also improve or tune your behavior because you always fake it. So that's me. For me, authenticity is all about it. And when we talk about authentic leadership, is because most of the teams I work with in the last decade, beyond the salary and beyond the environment of work, is could we have leader? We don't want leader to listen to us. We want leader to participate with us. So this is authentic leadership. Okay? And my personal definition of authentic leadership and authenticity is keep it real. Just be. And learn from yourself first, and then be open and accept others as they are. Okay? It's really important. If you want to be accepted, you have to be open to others. Aim for an objective reality with fact. Build respect and trust. Not fake it till you make it. You see? And there will be a difference between the inorganic players and organic living being, especially with the metaverse and the digital transformation that will turn into this meta world. So the truth will set you free, and you will learn to let go and be in that kind of red pill zone to emancipate yourself. So the divider right now for the next decade moving onward, I think a lot of people will see the the metaverse, the new internet, the augmented reality. I like this. I like those two terms. Artificial intelligence have nothing smart, and augmented reality have nothing real. It's all a fantasy. It's all an illusion that is nourishing the egregore of the antonyms of unreliability and inaccuracy of our interaction. It will completely totally defect the substantiation, which is again the interrelation and the interaction of diverse elements that have to shock like the atom. So people like the atom. So if we prevent everyone, if we protect everyone as a fragile handle with care, we are going to have a generation of non-creative, non-authentic, non-actual, non-original things. And most of the black swan will unfortunately be based on failure, and people will go to the tranquility of resilience to solve it instead of being completely innovative. But my take on it is working with people from diverse culture all around the world. I see where the future lies. Future lies in the youth revolution that's happening right now, on the open source movement, open source at everything, but of course the blockchain protocol. And blockchain protocol, mark my word, it's going to be the alternative to the metaverse and to this stupid data management of control and power behind AI. Because imagine you could have a decentralized distributed AI that actually automate the low value activities on a network or into the exchange. That's good. Otherwise, you need a human behind. You need the real consciousness. Because an artificial intelligence will never have a consciousness. Or if you want to redefine again consciousness with resiliency. So you will make again something inorganic to apparently help solving organic problem. So the balance between inorganic players in the world that will make you believe, that's the thing, they make believes. Huh? It's a tagline of a great company that actually is in the visual, the TV, the cinema, the fantasy, we'll name it, but make believe instead of just be. Just be an experience, share with others, tune your behavior by learning from yourself, inner, and from outside. You have to make a combination of both. So that's for me. That's all I wanted to share about today. So I don't know if it's into your expectation. Tell me in the comment below what's your thoughts on it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. I'm not here to be wrong or right. I'm just here to express some ideas, to confront some ideas, and I tune my behavior myself. And I would like to be more constructive moving forward. Every Friday I'm live on LinkedIn, Twitter, and my growing YouTube channel. Again, thank you and welcome to the new subscriber. And I hope that together we're gonna awake people, but actually I don't want to awake people. I just want to work with capable people who get it and they want to do something. They want to propose value over the business value and everything. So if you liked it, again, smash the like button, share this video, and of course, if you are on YouTube, and the description, you have a link to take a free discovery session with me. I'm always offering from half an hour to an hour session, whether it's for entrepreneurial project that you have in mind, or if you'd like to learn more about how the next level agility program on demand could help you, and any kind of workshop that you would like to have from one of my coach or myself, you're more than welcome to do this. And if you're on YouTube, again, subscribe and hit the bell. We are live every Friday, 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, 6 p.m. Europe, 5 p.m. in the UK. And that's it. So let's end the show first by looking at your comment here. So here is nothing here. Let me see this here. So let's see, my friend over. Oh, there's Simon. You said yes. So Simon Roberts. I don't know if you're still here. As I said, the LinkedIn is still beta type of thing. So I have to switch screen, and right now I'm using my laptop in my co-working session. I'm not in my studio, so it was harder to be able to follow you guys. So I'm glad you make it. It's about like it's around 6 p.m. you. So yes. So you were responding yes to. I cannot see on what. So if you want to expand in the comment and the replay or within the survey, I will be really happy to hear your thoughts on this being anti-fragile and authentic and the MetaWorld. As I said, for me, the next decade will define which people would like to be organic and creative and innovative and have a great balance, putting people first, using technology, yes, but not being dependent on technology and stay in the real kind of world. And so thank you, Simons. I miss you, by the way. I hope we're going to see each other into an event next year, 2022. Do we have people on the Twitter? Let's go see the Twitter. Okay, that's kind of weird. Yeah, the internet is kind of fuzzy today. I have a like and a share on Twitter. Thank you so much. Who's this? Disto Show, by the way, in French. He's mostly doing podcasts in French, but this guy, Eric Disto Show, you could find like Disto Show on Spotify and Apple. Great topic on history, sociology, and so on. And no, actually, excuse me, I made a mistake. It's Daniel Lessard who like and actually share my live stream on Twitter. Thank you, Danielle. Really appreciate it. I don't know if you are watching, if you're part of the 20 people who watch on Twitter. And where else I am? Oh, of course, yes, my my YouTube. Is there people on YouTube? No, like at this, anyways, it's directly linked to I'm sorry about that. It's directly linked to my Melon app studio. So I like to see it 413 on November the 12th. Bring me to 500, and then after 500, bring me to 1,000 to unleash a lot of freebies. And if you'd like what I do, and as your bartender, your Scrum barmaid, podcasting for the pleasure and for the passion of all these subjects of the human being evolution, if you'd like just to help me cut the spending on doing this voluntary, like when you come to the Scrum beer, you give a tips to the barmaid, to the Scrum barmaid. So your tips is voluntary, and it's just showing me your appreciation on top of the likes and the share, and it's always welcome. So on that, guys, I'm gonna wish you an amazing weekend of mid-November. Take the opportunity to be with those you love. Preparing the Thanksgiving that's coming, preparing the Christmas period that's coming. For me, November has always been my preferred month because of this warm feeling, the cooking that we could do all together. So thank you so much again for listening and to being there. See you next Friday already everywhere. So on that, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you're free to be whoever you want it to be. So on that, have a nice weekend again, and see you next Friday.